having the Ravens in #1 ranked defense, is that even more a better test for you just to have that kind of talent?
Yeah, the Ravens, talented football team, in all three phases. Got a great defense, obviously #1 defense last year. I know they've lost some pieces, so they're working through that as well. But still a very good football team. Offensively, the quarterback is electric, and he has the ability to really change a football game, and it's a good challenge for our defense, moving forward. Plus, we don't see a ton of two-back offenses in this league, and Baltimore does that from time to time, so it's good for our defense. And then special teams, we know they're going to be one of the top special teams units in the league every year. Coach Harbaugh, that's his background, and that's his, and that's kind of his influence with the team, and so it's a good challenge for us.
Doug, Mike Rose said yesterday that he sees Carson operating really quickly. That's the way that he phrased it. I'm curious of ways that you've seen that, assuming that's kind of lines up.
Yeah, I mean, it is. The thing in statements like that, I mean, it's like he's getting through his reads faster. It's part of the progression of him and his growth as a young quarterback right now, and he's getting to the line of scrimmage. He's seeing things fast. He's redirecting protection. Again, going through his progressions, balls coming out of his hand quicker. All of that is part of that. What Coach Grove's talking about, and those are things that we've seen, through the spring and obviously through this part of camp.
Based on what you've seen of Miles Sanders so far, how much do you think he'll be able to contribute as a rookie?
As much as we give him. I think he's done a great job for us so far. Biggest thing, obviously, concern coming into camp was the health issue with coming out of the spring, being injured a little bit. But I think he's checked that box, and obviously he'll have a role for us, and it's good to have at least those two guys back there that are different runners, but at the same time give us that running game that was missed a year ago.
We haven't seen Lane Johnson since his injury. Has anything changed? Do you still expect him back by week 1?
I do. Nothing's changed. Him and Dallas both. Nothing's changed with either one, and they'll both practice and be ready for Washington.
We talked a lot last year.
Quarterback plan for Thursday night.
Not there yet. Obviously, we're focused on today. Get through today. Again, as you guys know, I usually wait to the last minute on those decisions, and same is true this week.
We talked a lot last year about some of the slow starts and low point totals in the first quarter. How have you tried to address that in the offseason?
Almost every day with the offense, and really with the defense. Because a lot of times you notice if we win the toss, we defer, defense goes out on the field, and we try to, same way starting fast is 3 and out, or at least getting a stop somewhere in that opening drive. But I've emphasized that quite a bit this summer with our offense, and being kind of open-minded, but at the same time understanding that we have to start faster. We scored 41 points in all of first quarters last year. It's not good enough, and that's something that we continue to talk about and address on a daily basis.
What are sort of the teaching points to that? How do you enforce that?
Well, the biggest things you look at you look at penalties and turnovers, and that was really the culprit to a lot of games. We would make a drive, get into the red area, and we did have a penalty, maybe a sack, a turnover, and we weren't capitalizing on that. And those are things we can control. So really, the focus was just controlling what we can do and just executing our offense.
Doug Carson, I think more than half his interceptions last year were in the first quarter, and I think he had a couple fumbles. When you look at him specifically early on, what did you see different early than the last 3 quarters?
Well, I think sometimes you start a game. I know as a quarterback, and you want to hit that big home run throw right away, and it's just part of the growth process. I can do a better job maybe play calling. I still like calling shots in those situations, first quarter situations, but at the same time get him in a rhythm. Maybe call a little more, of the quicker game, get the ball out, get him into a rhythm, kind of lathered up a little bit, and then we take our shot. So it's kind of a give and take there, but something we have to definitely get better at.
A related question to those, your red zone. You spent a lot of time working on it. You feel right now, both personnel and preparedness, do you feel better about it going into?
I do. offensive personnel, feel good about where we are with the guys we have. The addition of JJ, getting Mac back, has helped. And I think too, I look at our defense is one of the top red zone defenses last year, and going against them every day in practice, especially in the red zone, makes us a better red zone offense. So it's a challenge every single time we're down there working against our guys. Even in against Baltimore yesterday, I mean, it was a stingy group from the standpoint of the way they play, and it just makes us pay attention to our details, focus in on what we do, and stay positive and stay ahead of the chains down there.
Doug, do you have an update on Richard Rodgers?
Not yet. We're actually going to have a better update after practice. He's going to get a few more tests during the day, and then have an update for you at the end.
As far as that goes, you have some tight ends and some other tight ends. Josh Perkins, what's he shown you in terms of improvement, and if he's the third tight end this year?
Yeah.
How confident would you be?
Yeah, Josh has done a really good job. He's come in there, and we've asked him to do different things. As far as even in the run game with the blocking, and he's a talented route runner, got good speed, good agility, and he's obviously a special teams player. So he's right in the mix. This will be a good opportunity for him, obviously now, again, moving forward these next couple weeks of camp, and just look forward to him playing in these next few games.
Doug, we're getting farther into the preseason here, and Jalen Mills, we really don't see him at all. Would he be on PUP to start the season now, you think?
I don't know yet. Right now he's doing extremely well in his rehab. I can tell you that the updates have been really good where he's at. Feel confident that he'll be ready to go maybe. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, but he's doing well. I'll tell you this: he is doing well.
These kind of these joint practices, is that something that's always been there when you played, and how's the difference in preseason?
You know what? It was. I remember back in the 90s. I was with the Dolphins, and we used to go against Tampa Bay, and whether we went to Tampa or they'd come over to us, and we used to do this a lot. So yes, it's been going on for a while, and then it sort of stopped, and I think the league controlled it a little bit, and now it can be done right. I mean, you saw yesterday there was great intensity, great practice. I mean, there was a physicality to it, but guys were staying up, guys were protecting each other, and you get good work in. And you want to have practices like that, especially going against good teams. And so this is a good time for us to do this.
Talking about the effectiveness of the reps in the joint practices. Recently, you talked about how practice reps are very similar to game reps in preseason in terms of speed. So seeing how starters seem to be playing less and less in these preseason games, and everybody's speaking so highly about these joint practices, would you like to see in the future less preseason games and more joint practices?
I think that's the trend. I think that's where we're going. I think that's the way the league is heading. I like it. I think the players like it. It does break up hitting your teammates, for so long. But the thing is about practice and really a joint practice is, as coaches, we get to set the situations. We get to control the environment, and sometimes you don't get those in games. You don't get that situation, in a game, and this way we can control that and work on specific things and get some really good work done with our starters.
Carson threw a lot of deep balls yesterday, and I guess only hit on one of them. What's your assessment then of how he's done in that regard this camp?
It's one of the things that I think over the last couple of years he's continued to work on. Hit a nice deep ball, just missed on Deshaun, and hit a nice deep ball to Alshon, and it's something that as Mike Groh and I talk about setting up practice and scripting, it goes with situational football, is scripting more down the field throws. We get used to throwing to spots and getting used to speed, the speed of the receivers, particularly Deshaun, and even Nelly going down the field. So it's always a work in progress. You're trying to throw on time and in rhythm and try to throw to a spot and let a receiver go get the ball, and those are hard to do, especially with defenders and D linemen in your face. But he's done a really good job with that, and the closer we get to the goal line, you're seeing more back shoulder type throws, fades, allowing our bigger, taller receivers to make plays, and those are all things we got to continue to work on.
Those touch deep balls when you have a phenomenal arm like he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You don't put as much
like-
air under it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just depends on how you see that receiver down the field. What angle is he on? Where is the defender? And what type of throw you need to make. So some of them are going to be fast. Some of them probably could have a more air on them. And it just all depends on where the offensive player is in relation to the defensive player and what type of throw you want to make.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.